Greetings, I am TiPit. One of the greatest elements with viewing YouTube videos is the capability of being able to create your own type, your own style, and your own idea of what a good YouTube video is. One of the biggest problems with this, though, is that oftentimes we don't know how to do it exactly, or the things we want to do take a lot of time. So here are a few editing tricks that will help you not only make things quicker, but better. My easiest editing trick for you today is actually the most lackluster of all. It is basically know what you're doing. Plan your way through. It's like writing an essay. You need to know what your objective is. You need to know who your audience is. You need to know the mood. You need to know your content type. You need to have that all down. Otherwise, your video is just going to look like if it's been pasted together. You grab this thing here, you put that there, and that's what a lot of people have been doing. They just put some gameplay in the background, talk about some random crap, has nothing to do with the game sometimes, and then just put some EDM in the background. Boom, you have a video. That's not how you want to do things. That's how they do things, but that's not how you want to do things if you want to have a quality and a confidence in the material you have created. One of the things you need to know is definitely the limitations of your program. For instance, with the program I'm using, overlays are quite difficult to use. I've already used 5 different soundtracks on one video with 2 different visual overlays, and I had some sound effects, some music, some game stuff, and my voiceover. That was crazy, a lot of stuff, and personally I thought it looked pretty good at the end. You need to know what effects you can apply. For instance, I have a chroma key effect. That means that if I have a color of a specific background of a specific color, I can neutralize that and make it so that I look like if I'm directly on the object. It's really great, but it isn't the most efficient system out there, and it does come out as a little bit disgusting depending on the moment. So I need to know that, and I need to apply accordingly. You can never edit a video too much. Getting the exact moment that was perfect, cutting out that little moment there where your voice sounded weird, or the mic hit that you just heard. That is stuff that you can take out of a video, and you must, to a certain extent. But keep in mind, there is no perfect video. Even the video you spend 8 hours working on, you've put all your time and energy into, you will look back upon it in the next few years, and you will look at different elements that are either aesthetically or technically incorrect. You will keep that in mind, and you'll realize, man, I thought I was great, I wasn't. Think of it. You're never going to be good enough, but you will always improve if you try. Try to always have that perfect moment where you feel like, hey, I've put so much effort into this. I am proud of this production. Is it perfect? No. But am I proud of it? And do I think that it's superb? Yes. Then continue trying to improve that feeling until you have to work very hard to reach that feeling, and always continue reaching the feeling, therefore improving your videos. Along with this, you do need to understand there are some moments where you will not be able to work as much on a video as you want. You need to say enough. Sometimes people that have quote-unquote OCD will have that moment where they'll be like, hey, I think this could also be edited here, and you realize that just editing these little moments will take about 3 hours extra and will do no significant difference on the video that somebody's going to watch while they're listening to something else at the same time anyways. So you need to know when to say no, but at the same time, make sure that your videos are something that you yourself would be ready to watch. You need to be comfortable watching this video yourself, and if you would not watch this video, if it was just from some random guy out there, you would not be ready to watch it. Nobody else will either. Something else is you shouldn't expect people to realize how much effort you've put into a video. Some of the videos I've put the most effort have gotten the least amount of views, and some other videos that I've put no effort have gotten a ton of views. Look at my old World of Tanks videos. One of them reached 3,000 views. And look at one of my most recent videos, which is The Death of the Modern FPS, in which I spent, I don't know, 5 hours editing. Guess what? That's the one that got no views. And the one with 3,000, I basically did a live comm and I got 3,000 views on it. One thing that I never get when I see other people's YouTube videos is when they include a bunch of uninteresting moments and things that are very uncool. For instance, some gameplay, and they show all the timer, the 10-second timer at the beginning. Unless you're doing some sort of overlay or you're talking or you're explaining something, that's not very interesting. I do not care about your timer, so you want to only show the best moments. For instance, I typically do a ratio of 3 to 1, maybe. So what that means is when I have some recording, I cut down, if I have, let's say, 30 minutes, my video is going to end up being about 10 minutes. And typically that increases. So the larger videos, let's say I have 30 minutes worth of stuff, I'm actually end up with only about 6 minutes worth of footage. that continues to grow as it gets larger. For instance, I've had some projects where I've had literally an hour's worth of recording and ended up being about a 12-minute video. While if I have about a 6-minute video, I end up having about maybe 4 minutes of content. Because of course I have to adjust, but also how I record the content is adapted towards how I'm going to end up editing things anyways. So for instance, I know that I'm going to be making a project and I know that it's going to be very interactive or it's going to be very fast-paced. I'm going to take a gameplay or I'm going to record gameplay of a very rapid game. If the content that I'm going to be talking over, the voiceover, is going to be something very interesting and everybody needs to stay focused, it's going to be like crazy fast, I'm going to take something accordingly. If I'm going to take something that's more thoughtful, it's more deep, you need to concentrate about it, I'm going to take some video blocks, just dump a bunch of video blocks, add some intros, do something very professional looking, because that is what the people are coming to listen to. That is going to be affecting the entire project. So you got to adjust not only to your audience, but also to the type of content that you want to make. You can't have something that is asynchronous. For instance, I add some very pepe music on something that is very deep or very important. I need to have the same style for the same objects in the entire thing. There needs to be a continuity with how I do things and what outcome I want to have. Another element I think is very interesting when people don't do it is they do not conserve every single moment of the person's life. I am not going to do a 10-minute video just to be able to get the ad revenue for that. I'm not going to make it anyways, but I'm not going to make a 10-minute video just to take your time up and to make me money. I'm going to try to count every 1 second that I use and I'm going to try to use it as best I can. For instance, see, I shouldn't even have said instead it should have been, for instance. Now, you don't want to do this too choppy. If you do it choppy, it's going to sound pretty obvious, and it's going to make it ugly. But to be honest, I think it's a little bit better to have it choppy than to have it too long, because you're wasting people's lives out there, where they're just like, you know why? Why am I even continuing to watch this video? I'm going to quit out. For instance, I'm going to talk about, I just said there. Yeah, I could actually edit that out, but I won't, just to have a point. One thing that I found many people doing is they have a video, they got some great footage out there, and they just shoot up some people and they get a lot of stuff. I think that's very uninteresting if they keep every moment in the entire gameplay. For instance, they have a moment where they died and it was totally uninteresting. Their entire lifespan in that one moment was life, go out, get yourself killed. I would cut that out. Unless you're trying to do a point or you're trying to show the total amount of kills or something, you do not want to have that in there because that is totally a waste of people's watching time. Unless you need something specific. For instance, you need a 10-minute video because that's how long your monologue goes on for. You need to have a 10-minute video in the background. I understand that, but instead try to have some other type of footage just drawn in, because that actually makes it more interesting for everybody. Try to make sure that the person watching is going to be as interested as watching this as you are in saying it. If you do not put interest or effort into creating, how are you expecting the person watching to have any interest if the creator doesn't even put a care? Depending on the type of video, you probably want to have some sort of background music. In this video, I'm planning on having some background music, but yet I'm recording, so I don't know yet. But one of the things is that background music definitely helps to make sure that the sound, if your mic is not as nice, or the background noises, or anything that doesn't sound as interesting, gets cut out. Also, another thing is that it makes it so that you have a more interesting production. Some other times, though, it's better not to have some. Now you should have realized how much effort I do put in my videos. If you want to see that video I've been editing in the background, just click on the link in the description. Thank you for watching, and please leave a like.